everyone, and good Wednesday morning. I think for a second what day it is. Good Wednesday morning. We have made it through our first winter storm of the season, and in some areas it was a bit of a doozy. We'll talk about snowfall reports here in just a minute, but the travel aspect of it. Parts of the Southern Valley, we had rain and wintry mix before the snow fell, so that just created a layer of ice for the snow to fall onto. Numerous crashes across the valley and beyond, too. As of 7 a.m. this morning, all roads, interstates had reopened, but travel's still poor in a few spots. We'll go over some of those road reports as well. But I want to dive right into some of the snowfall reports from across the valley and some wind reports as well. So talking about the snow, Lemoore, Deer Creek, those are a couple of our highest reports at 8 inches. Victor, South Dakota, we had a report of 8 inches of snowfall as well, but that was as of 1:30 yesterday afternoon. I have not yet had an updated report from that area. Hecla, South Dakota, 7 inches of snow. Same thing in Rothsay, 6.5. Otter Tail and Ashby, just shy of that in Pelican Rapids. Half a foot in Breckenridge. That is an updated viewer report from the 3 inches that we had in the Wahpeton area. So thank you for that update. Here at our station in South Fargo, we picked up 5.8 inches on our snowboard, 5 inches in Ulen, Minnesota, as well as Guthrie. Didn't mean to put Ulen on there twice. Nadawash, 4.9 inches for Westbury and Muskota. Westbury is just north of Detroit Lakes, in case you were wondering, for parts of Lakes Country. Our Fargo Co-op Observer official report, 3.2 inches. 3 Bemidji, 2 in Harvey. And then very little north, Lemoore, 1.3 inches and 0.7 inches in Grand Forks. Let's talk about road conditions currently. Actually, I want to talk more about some of the wind reports before I forget. So I've got a list here from the National Weather Service of some of the peak winds from the storm system. Herman, Minnesota, a gust to 73 miles per hour. Whew, that'll create some difficult travel conditions. Kent, Minnesota, 61 mile per hour gust yesterday. Tenney, 55. The Wahpeton Airport, a 52 mile per hour gust. Fergus Falls Airport, a 51 mile per hour gust. Even Grand Forks, I gust well into the 40s, 42. Here in Fargo at the airport, our peak gust was 48 miles per hour. Okay, now moving on to road conditions. Lots of colors on this regional map here. Green indicates seasonable roads. Driving conditions are typical for the time of year. But we also have a lot of blue and a lot of pink. You can see especially in the Southern Valley, that's where we have a lot of pink, indicating that roads are snow and ice covered. A couple spots still in purple through the Sisseton Hills, and that's where no travel is advised. So overall, seeing gradually improving conditions, but still tough going in parts of the valley if you have travel plans for today. Temperatures are a little colder. We're at 25 in Fargo and Fergus Falls, 27 in Hallock, 24 Devil's Lake, 22 in Jamestown. But it's the wind. We have wind chill values at this hour in the single digits and teens. And we're going to continue to see wind chills in the teens throughout this afternoon. Looking at the 4 o'clock hour in northeastern North Dakota, temperatures mid and upper 20s, but it'll feel like the mid to upper teens. Northern Minnesota, more of the same, though we can expect a few pockets of sunshine this afternoon. 27 in Fargo by 4 p.m., but it'll feel closer to 16. So all in all, a chillier day in store. Now, if you have travel plans today, we just were going over the road conditions. Still expecting some icy roads to continue into today, especially some of those side roads, back roads, untreated roads in general. So just take it easy. Allow yourself some extra time. You want to make it to your Thanksgiving destination. For Thanksgiving Day tomorrow, temperatures going to again be in the 20s, a little bit breezy. Can't rule out some morning fog. Mostly in central and eastern North Dakota, so keep that in mind for tomorrow morning. Be sure to check visibility. You can do that on your Valley News Live weather app or on our webpage before you head out tomorrow morning. Otherwise, a partly cloudy day. And then on Friday, temperatures going to be in the teens and low 20s with a mostly cloudy sky and the chance for some snow later in the day. And with that snow potential, we do have first alert weather days for Friday and Saturday that we raised several days ago. And I think I first made mention of this next regional storm the middle to late part of last week, and it's becoming increasingly likely, not necessarily just here in the valley, but across the upper Midwest. And it's a big deal because this is the busiest travel time of the entire year. Lots of folks on the roadways, lots of folks taking to the skies. So here's what we are watching. A system will start off to the west. This is Friday morning. You can follow along with the timestamp up here. But snow starts out west, and then it's going to dive a bit to the south. We'll play through this animation. Friday afternoon, seeing that snow into parts of western North Dakota and then down into South Dakota. And that track continues. Now, this forecast model showing a little bit more of a northerly track than compared to yesterday, but I really think that we'll see the heart of the snow south and east of most of our area. I do anticipate at least some snow in the southern valley, and at this point looks to be very little across the northern Red River Valley, so not all too different from the track of the storm system that we just saw move through yesterday. This is now by Saturday morning, this model depicting that we could still see some snow hanging on through the morning hours before exiting the valley by Saturday afternoon. But you see those darker blues? That indicates some heavier snowfall, and that is tracking from South Dakota all the way towards Chicago and the Great Lakes region. So that's where we're watching for more of an intense storm potential. Just something to keep our eyes on. Looking at the snow map here, I'm not going to put numbers on it because it's still a little too soon and the track is still adjusting. But the darker the color indicates higher snowfall potential. So we've got lighter blues north indicating light snowfall, darker blues across the southern part of the state all the way down into the Midwest and towards Chicago. That's where we could see the heavier snowfall potential. Again, we're really watching the track. If it shifts a little bit further south, again, like the models were showing yesterday, or if it keeps this slightly northerly track. Regardless, it is a big travel weekend, and we want you to be aware of any potential travel concerns. Maybe you're traveling out of state for the holiday this weekend, or you're traveling back home out of state for the weekend. Just something that we want to be mindful of heading into our Friday and Saturday, and then further east, potentially into Sunday. That's all I've got for your update here on this Wednesday morning. Thank you for joining us here, and hopefully you're not too chilly out there shoveling the snow today. We'll have more updates on this next potential system later on this afternoon when new model data comes in, and then of course stay tuned over the next couple of days as well, especially if you'll be traveling. I hope you have a wonderful and safe and warm Thanksgiving.